So, but it's amazing, and it makes you kind of wonder about the justice system as a whole, specifically, like it, whether we have it right or whether we have it wrong, and how we interpret individualism and individual liberties, and it, it almost feels like if you have a criminal justice system like the UK or like Europe, where you're presumed guilty, it almost feels like there's more weight to it, and the burden of you have to, while it would be very difficult for you to not to prove yourself innocent, but it almost seems like there's, and I don't know, I haven't looked at crime statistics or anything like that, but I wonder if the UK or Europe are completely inundated with with criminal cases, or if this is something uniquely American, where the presumption of innocence can it can also hurt here. I mean, I'm just wondering, because if I'm looking at this, and I consider myself a rather reasonable person, and I try not to come in. I know I'm probably biased, having being presented the defense's case right off the bat, and having that the the predisposition and the prejudice of, well, this the state and this county screwed up the first time and they didn't care and they railroaded the guy, so what's to stop them from doing it again? But trying to remove myself from that, and trying to remove this prejudice, and just having the idea of what reasonable doubt is, it's kind of like, well, this is it. This is kind of the textbook case of it, of what reasonable doubt, what the burden of proof is for reasonable doubt. So I don't know. Maybe I care. Maybe it's okay. I believe too much in the ideals, and that, and I get it, and rah rah, yay America, red, white, and blue, all that sort of stuff. Or if it's just, who cares? This guy, it doesn't really matter, and uh, the town hates him, the county hates him, and they want to see him go. Here you go. This is it. Let's just move on and go to the next case. I don't know what the answer is, and I'll be interested to see how, if they even talk to jurors, or if they even get to interview juries, or the jurors, or see what the determining factors were in this, and what made them say, and what was, how could they have proven this, is I guess where I'm ending up with it, because it's, to me, it's insane. It's just completely insane, this entire case.
See, now that's a good idea for me to just go ahead and watch it tonight, because now I feel like I ultimately should and kind of have to now. So,
And I guess contradicted to what's going on FX right now, with the American crime story of OJ, the People versus OJ Simpson, which, when I first saw the first commercials for it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome, because awesome in that it could be absolutely horrible just because of some of the actors that they have in this, but that was a fiasco. That was insanity then. I mean, it was craziness. It was madness. It really stoked the fire to where we are now, with what CNN is, with what 24-hour news cables are, news cable channels are, where you're following a case from the beginning to the end. And how whacked out it was. I mean, I'm never going to forget that white Bronco bit.
I mean, but you under like that happens, like that's a normal occurrence. Like,
Yeah.
that's it's like a reality, and like, man, I remember that was so, that was like new media right there. Media saw that and they're like, oh, we can do that. Oh yeah, we can do this, and then all they can do is
Free, yeah,
anybody.
free programming.
It's totally free programming. Do whatever. It's like make your own news almost, because the way they handle them, they get to a point and then they make up their mind and they say, we're not going to cover this anymore. We're done, because they don't have to. Like, if it stops, it's over. Once the person gets caught, move on to something else. But
Yeah.
I mean, oh man, OJ, that was the craziest thing, man. Man, he was like the Naked Gun. Like, come on, like can't can't be a killer, dude. But oh well, that's what we get, right? As it is determined. Well, who knows?
Yeah.
We all know what we believe, and we all know what the truth is. And I think everybody knows what the truth is. And I don't think it's bad that I say something like that because there are. I mean, I would say the majority of people believe that he did he did kill his wife. I know there's people that don't. There's always going to be like. I'm pretty sure that.
Yeah, but you're
I'm
never
pretty
going to
sure
change
that
those people's
happened.
mind.
I mean, regardless of regardless of that or not, you came to find out that he is not a good man. Not at all.
Yeah.
The OJ then. Oh man, got a lot. I guess I got a lot. I got a lot to catch up on in the crime department, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I've only heard bits and pieces of it, and mostly seen just the advertisements for the People versus OJ. But it's funny because I think everyone had this. He says a line, and I know it's dramatic. I know it's completely dramatized and everything. Of OJ saying, I'm not, but I'm not black. I'm OJ. I mean, and I think, and I heard that from just that delivery. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, he's right because everyone knew who O.J.
Oh
Simpson
yeah.
is and was at that point.
It was,
It's like, no, he wasn't. He's the Jews. He wasn't. He he broke. I don't think there were color barriers at that point for what he was doing, and I think as far as the NFL's concerned now, eh, color barriers are more self-imposed than anything else.
he was like, I mean, everything. He was all over the place, dude. He was doing tons of stuff, movies, on
Yeah.
TV, sideline reporting, like the total, like everything that's going on with, like, God, every single player of note not even of note, any player that retires has an absolute like spot to do something if they want to
Oh yeah.
in media. They don't, and now granted, when there are a ton of professional athletes who get degrees in communication, I think which is absolutely just smart because if you play football, what's better than when you're done playing football, getting to talk about it all the time if you love it,
Yeah.
right? Like, so why not get? And I mean, they know how to handle the jobs, but the work's always going to be there for them. Always, always, always. Never
Yeah.
going to be a shortage of that. Just hope that they're good and not like Joe Montana. He has bad analysis. I'm sorry. He doesn't add anything to analysis of sport, and it's weird because sometimes it happens though. Just because you're a good player doesn't mean you can explain how to do it. Maybe it just
Yeah.
works in your head. You can't break down other people. You can't always add to stuff because you know maybe you were so good that you didn't have to deal with some of the struggles that other people have. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I don't even know how it works, but I mean, some guys just aren't cut out for it. I think some guys aren't good analysts, some guys aren't good commentators, and some are really good. Just
Hmm.
depends. I don't know.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Between him, well, I'd say Phil Simms is right there, and who's the other one? Oh, Tony Siragusa. Speaking of the 2000 Ravens. Oh gosh. Uh, the worst. The worst.
Yeah, he's there's I don't know. Sometimes I kind of feel like it's almost even between like really good guys and then some guys that are just like you're just getting a check. Like, what are you adding to this at all? I don't know. I'm trying to think of somebody. You know what? Who's not bad? Who I've heard do some games. I guess towards the end of the season is Brady Quinn. Have you
Hmm.
heard any of his work? Because I know
No, I
that
haven't.
he got in a little bit. He might have been a fill-in guy for Fox, but I believe I saw him call a few games. He's not bad.
No,
Um,
I think he does. I think if it was any of the Bears broadcasts, I know that they they don't put necessarily their best teams on their
the Bears,
best broadcast teams on on the Bears in
yeah,
general, but in on those markets or on those games, especially with how the Bears were playing and some of the teams that are playing, yeah, it just wasn't there, wasn't adding up for them.
it's all
But
regional stuff.
I
It's
do
all.
recall seeing him there. Yeah, I do recall seeing him there. I didn't hear it.
I mean,
I didn't
you
listen
got
or
you got
hear him.
guys
So
like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I guess I like guys one another. Like I don't have a problem with Troy Aikman. I got a problem with Joe Buck, but I don't
there you
have a
go.
problem with Troy Aikman. Like you know, I think he has a good eye for a. I mean, I think he's a guy who can do both. He played the game well, and he can explain it well, and he can. And it's like I feel like that. I feel like that role on the broadcast team, like you need to explain to me what they're thinking out there.
Hmm.
Like, what? That's your job. That's like that's that's what it is. That's what you're supposed to do. But whatever. I guess I don't know. I think I think the way media works is that there's usually a pretty even of it's the essential like people love some people and just as many people that love that person. There's probably just as many people that can't fucking stand them.
Yep.
So are there more LeBron James fans or haters? Are there more
Ooh.
Justin Bieber fans or haters? Do you believe in, Twitter followers as like a true gauge of it? Or do you believe like what do you believe in? You know what I mean? So I just
Right.
think that I think it's pretty even, but I don't know. Good people are good people and jerks are jerks, so keep the
Here,
jerks
here.
keep the jerks away from me.
I can't top that. I think that's good. I think that's it. That's it. That's it.
Rock and roll.
All right. Where can we find you on Tumblr, and where can we find your work?
Tumblr. Ooh, I just got my first follower on Tumblr. That's funny. I don't know. What do I need to? I don't need to follow anybody. It would be. I should probably just really be good at realizing it. So how does the Tumblr? I always forget how the Tumblr thing works, and so it's Mike's World. So it's MikeSwhirled .tumblr.com if you want to check that out. You can just go to the Twitter at falling_expert and then everything's there, so that can be fun for you. Um, yeah. Who am I first? I'm big time on Tumblr now because somebody followed me. Because
Big time. What can I say?
it's like the Twitter follows the random ones that come out of nowhere. They started following. Like, what is it? Bar Lewing in Mount Prospect started following me today. I have no idea why. I've never tweeted anything to Bar Lewing Mount Prospect. I've never been there. I've never been to a Bar Louie. And it's not a situation where I always check out because I always like to, like the people who have like 20,000 followers and are following 20,000 people, like what's going on. But
Yeah.
I mean, they're only following. I'm one of 664, so
Manageable. There you go.
I mean that's like that's I don't how did that follow happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always interesting to me, and then your fair share of eggs following you all the time. The egg people who tweet once 6 years ago.
People. Yeah.
Thanks
Oh
for the
man.
follow, bud. Anyhow, where are you at for your thoughts?
Oh, just Twitter and all the random stuff that goes on in my life. You can find that at m_f_l_. F underscore Kane, Kane, like the hockey.